Hello. If you're watching this video, it probably means that you've been scouring the internet looking for tips on how to play Wylde Flowers. Well, great news. This is your beginner's guide. I have some tips that I'm going to share with you that I think will be super helpful or just informational as you play the game Wylde Flowers. And if I miss any and you have any questions, please ask in the comments and I will do my best to answer. So let's get into it. The first tip that I want to give you is honestly one of my favorite things. So in the game Wylde Flowers, it saves throughout the day. So this isn't like Stardew Valley where you have to go to sleep at night to, save. This is different. It saves throughout the day. So if you need to quit or do anything else, you can just do that at any point, which we love. All right, the second thing that I want to tell you about is that this game has 3 different speeds in which you can play the game. There is relaxing, normal, and challenging. Now, why am I telling you this? Because throughout the day, as I'm playing this game, I will use all 3 speeds. That's right, I will change it to relaxing when I need to slow down and spend more time on something. I will change it back to normal when I'm kind of ready just to progress at a normal speed, and I will change it to challenging if I need something to pass by quickly. So that's what I recommend you do. As you're playing the game, feel free to change it at any point, and it really helps, which is why I recommend doing it. All right, the third thing I want to tell you about is recipes. So as you sell items and get access to recipe books, for sure buy those in stores. But what I'm going to tell you is do not forget to fish, because when you are fishing, sometimes a little bottle with a note will pop up and you might be like, ugh, what's that? I don't want that. I just need fish. Get the bottle. You're going to need the bottle because later on you may need to make a specific recipe and you don't have it because you only get it from fishing in the ocean. So whenever you see a bottle pop up, make sure that you fish it out, and it will be just like a fish where it will go down and hook onto your hook. So just make sure you get the bottles when you're fishing, and when you finally get access up to the mountain area, make sure that you dig up there. There will be little dirt piles all over the place, so dig there. Sometimes you'll get money and sometimes you'll get recipes. And like I said, a lot of times someone will be like, oh my gosh, I love this food, and you'll be like, well, where do I get that food? And it will be from a recipe from the mountain or the ocean, and you don't have it. So don't forget to get your recipes. Okay, the fourth thing I want to tell you about. Now, when you are mining, you may be tempted to ignore the light colored brown rocks or the brownish red dirt looking stuff. Don't ignore it. I ignored it and I regretted the fact that I ignored it because, most of the time when you're in there, you're just looking for different ore. You don't care about the other stuff. Don't ignore it, because it is clay and sand, and both will come back to bite you later in some way, especially the sand, because you're going to have to make a ton of glass later. And if you didn't mine any sand, you're going to spend a ton of time back in those mines just looking for sand rocks. So make sure when you're in there, mine the sand, dig up the clay. It will be important later. Okay, so I kind of briefly mentioned this, but I'm going to say this now. When you're selling your items, it's not like Stardew Valley where, there is a bin outside where you just put all of your stuff and someone comes and buys it. No, you have to go and sell all of your items in the stores, and you can't sell any item at any store. So if I'm playing Zelda and I just pop up to any different person and I'm like, oh, I want to buy some clothes, and then you can sell any item that you have. It's not the case here. So what it is pay attention to what you're able to buy from the different stores, because that will indicate what you are able to sell in the different stores. So if I go to, buy some seeds, that's probably where I'm going to be able to sell my crops. If I buy French fries somewhere, that probably indicates I'm going to be able to sell my cooking there. If I go to the jewelry store where I can buy, jewelry or different things like that, that's probably going to be where you can sell your gems. So just pay attention to what the store offers, and that will indicate what you can sell there. Super important. Don't ignore it. and pay attention to store hours, because that is going to bite you later as well. If you're like, oh my gosh, I need to sell this, but it's Tuesday. Oh no, the store is closed. So pay attention to store hours. That will help you a lot. Okay. Also, in the town, you will notice a bulletin board that has requests. You're probably like, should I do those? Yes, I think you should do them personally. It's a very easy way to help level up your relationships with people, especially if you haven't learned their favorites yet. Just do the requests. It's a super easy way to just help you maintain better relationships with people in the town. Okay. The next thing I want to talk to you about is when you gain access to Ravenwood Hollow, which also has a request board, by the way. When you gain access to Ravenwood Hollow, you're going to also meet Zephyr. And Zephyr will offer you a lot of different things if you bring her resources, some of which are little robot-like creatures that help you do things like water your plants or feed your animals. And you're probably like, should I do it? Should I get those? Yes, 1,000% yes. They are so helpful. So helpful. So don't miss out on what Zephyr has for you, because honestly, that character is one of the most helpful characters in the game to help you progress forward and get different things. So don't miss out on Zephyr. Okay. Now, another thing I want to tell you is that when you do get more money and you go to the jeweler, that is a great place to buy pearls. Buy all the pearls. Buy pearls. Anytime you can, buy pearls. You're like, why do I need pearls? Because as you progress further into the game, you're going to need to crush up the pearls for different ingredients and a lot of different stuff. So don't miss out on the pearls there. Just don't miss out on the pearls. They're super helpful. Now, the next one, I don't know if this is going to be a popular opinion, but this is just how I feel. In most games, you're going to feel the need to level up all of your equipment to the highest degree because it makes it so much easier to do things. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that that is the case in Wylde Flowers, because I have played this game for many hours. I haven't leveled my mining tool or my axe up to gold. I'm still rocking one level below, and it's still just as effective and helpful. So yes, you can do it if you want to, but honestly, it doesn't make that big of a difference if you're trying to progress forward in the game. It just feels a little bit like a waste of gold. Feel free to do it though. I'm just letting you know, it's not necessary. There's nothing in that game that I can't do because I don't have a golden axe. So just keep that in mind. If you're like, should I do it? Should I do it? Okay, now this last one. Eventually in the game, you're going to have the ability to build a greenhouse. But until you get that time, make sure that you save a little bit of every crop that you do. Because your first instinct is going to be sell, because I need money. No, because until you get access to that greenhouse, you're never going to be able to buy a pumpkin, for instance. So let's say that you build a greenhouse when you get to winter, but someone's like, I want pumpkin soup. Well, you don't have any pumpkins and you don't have a greenhouse. What are you going to do? So just make sure you save a little bit of everything you've got, because there are going to be requests that pop up that you do not have the ability to complete because you don't have the ingredients. And the reason why I'm talking about a greenhouse allows you to plant any seed at any time, except for the ones that only work in the gloom. Is it the gloom? The glowing? I think it's the gloom. Whatever. So just make sure that you're saving some of all of that until you get access to the greenhouse when you can plant everything. So those are just 10 basic tips that I have for you. There are so many more other tips I can give you. And if you want a part 2 of this specific video of like basic things that are helpful to know, let me know. Put anything in the comments that you have questions about, and I will be happy to answer them. But there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful, and make sure that you subscribe so that you do not miss out on my next video. All right? Peace.